Video 16th. This is a general reading, so not everything that I see here will apply to every single Capricorn who watches this video. If you would like to have more information about what's going on with you, you may want to check your rising sign or your moon sign. If you have some specific questions that you're looking for answers to, then you may want to consider a private reading with me. You can schedule one by contacting me. All my contact information is on my website, which is www.amista.info. I do love to read. Once you contact me, I can usually get you taken care of pretty quickly. All right, so let's see what kind of cards you guys have coming up for this week. Capricorns, oh Capricorns. All right. First thing I'm looking at for you guys is your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it shows up as home, but sometimes it can show up as school, work, etc., etc. So when I'm looking at your environment, I am seeing that there's a lot of collaboration here in the environment. So there are people who are working together along with you to get different things accomplished. Yay, that's always nice energy. Next thing that we have coming up talks to me about your subconscious leanings, Capricorn. And I think that right now you're feeling like you have everything that you need. You're feeling abundant. You're not feeling limited or restricted, excuse me, by finances or by material goods. And I think you're also wondering, how can you share the good things that you have with other people who are in your sphere of influence in a tasteful way. So that's what you're working on with your subconscious leanings. Next thing that we are looking at talks to me about learning style and also communication style. So let's start with learning style. I do feel like there's a lot of information that is coming into you, Capricorns, during this week. There is, however, one area where you're looking for information and you're having a hard time really either with that information coming in or with understanding that information as it comes in. But for most things that you're looking at and wanting information on, the information is coming in pretty easily for you. Now, as far as communication style, Capricorns, I feel like you have some choices that you have to make, and you're not exactly sure what those choices are going to be. And so, for communication, what you're really trying to accomplish is you're trying to keep people hanging on and interested until you buy yourself enough time to figure out what direction you really want to go. So, you're trying to keep your plan and your backup plan both hanging around and willing to move forward, and whether this is business or whether this is personal. But meanwhile, you're trying to figure out what one do you actually want to move forward with. Okay. So that's the next thing that we're looking. Okay. So that was communication style. Next, we're looking at work. Work for me is two things. It's how you make a living, but it's also those things that you do to improve your own character. So what I'm seeing here for work for you, Capricorns, Capricorns, Capricorns. It looks like things are not going very evenly or very fairly for you at work. You may be carrying most of the workload, getting the least of the credit, something along those lines. It may be that there are some people around you who are saying some things about you that are not true to the boss. And so the boss may have one perception of you and your work ethic and how you're doing, while the real deal is something different. Um, Looking at inner work, I really feel like your inner work is sort of sorting through some of this stuff that's going on at work and trying to figure out where the baloney is coming in and cut out the baloney. So you are looking at, what can I do to improve this situation, basically. And I think that this is an important situation for you because I think that you're seeing people in a different light than what you've seen them before. And I think that this is sort of a wake up or a learning. There's a little bit of a loss of innocence here as far as your perception of people. I feel like you're starting to see people for who they really are and what they're really doing. And I feel like it's really surprising you because you um, would never dream of doing some of the things that are actually happening that people are doing to you. And so it's a little bit out of your realm of expectation or experience. So as you're seeing these people as they really are, like I said, it's a little bit of a wake-up call or a learning experience for you. The next thing that we have going on, Capricorn. No, I kind of like this. The next thing I'm looking at are those things that you stand for. And what we have here is that you are letting go of some hurt, some grudge, some wound. Maybe you're forgiving somebody. Maybe if you've been going through grief, maybe you're realizing that, this is not helping me to move forward. Maybe it's time to acknowledge all of the good about that person that used to be here and move forward in that way. Maybe it's time to forgive the people that I blamed for that death. So for some of you, definitely this has to do with letting go of something around some grief or the loss of a person. For others of you, this just has to do with letting go of some old grudge or wound or hurt. And there are people around you saying, how can you do that? How can you let this go? And how can you just move on with your life like it's no big deal? How can you just be happy? And you're having to say, you know what? I'm doing it for my own survival. Thank you very much. Step off the curb, Jack. All right. Next thing that we're looking at talks to me about how other people perceive you. This is really interesting to me that somebody is giving you a hard time about forgiving or letting something go, and they perceive you as somebody who is really good at closing people out. So either they are expecting that you should be closing people out, or they're saying this stuff to you and you're saying, look, I'm doing this for my own survival. And then you're cutting them out. And you're like, what you're saying is not helpful to me. I got to stop talking to you. So they either thought that you would be somebody who would cut out whoever it was that you were hurt by or angry about, or you're actually cutting them out. But anyway, they're perceiving you as somebody who is just cutting off communication completely to somebody. Now, the next thing that we have coming up talks to me about the pivotal energy of the week. And the pivotal energy here talks about not being on the same page with somebody who is important to you or significant. This could be a business partner, this could be a friend, this could be a significant other or a lover, but there is a situation where you guys just are not able to get yourselves on the same page here. And as that is going on, I see you going through some big transitions. I see that this is really, I don't know if this is actually at work or not, but it would tie in pretty easily with the situation where, you're seeing people for who they really are. It would tie in with that because I see some big transitions here in yourself. You're making some big changes, and they start with big changes in your perspective, which begins to change how you're interacting with this other person. And the other person that I'm seeing here is somebody who is normally very logical, very goal-oriented, but right now they're moody. Their emotions are ruling them. And so they may or may not be telling the truth. They look to me like they're triggered. They may even be throwing a fit. This honestly is my man throwing a fit card. Okay? I have a female throwing a fit card. This is my man throwing a fit card. So probably as you're seeing somebody's, true colors, seeing people for how they are, it may be this person who's throwing a fit, and you're making changes. You're making changes because you're seeing what this person is really like, and that's causing this person to throw a fit because he's used to you being there for him in certain ways that now are changing because you've seen what he's really all about. And so there's a little bit of backlash there. He's like, well, wait a second, why are you like this? This may be the very same person that was like, well, why are you forgiving this person? Why are you letting that go? Why are you getting over this? Why are you getting over this grief? It may be the very same person. In fact, I think for a lot of you it is. And then ultimately what we have coming up here at the end of the week is you guys are going to be recovering from some kind of situation that was a pretty big shakeup, and we're seeing this shakeup during the week. So I think the shakeup is what's happened with things not going fair at work and with this person having this fit, and with you shutting out this person. So I think that this all has been a pretty big shakeup for you. It's been pretty, I'm just going to say pretty big and leave it there. And I think that what's going on once you get towards the end of the week is you're starting to recover. You're starting to regroup. You're starting to figure out what direction you really want to go now that you know the truth about certain people in your life. And you're starting to take one step and put it in front of the other, going in that direction. So starting to get into recovery mode from all of this baloney that was going on earlier in the week. All right. So that's what I've got coming up for you, Capricorns. Thank you so much for stopping by, for hanging out, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate it. For those of you who would like to have a private reading, all you have to do is find my contact information on my website and get a hold of me, and we can get that scheduled pretty quickly. My website is www.amista.info. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.